Hey guys, it's Shannon. Today I just want to do a little bit of a walk and talk through some of my week in the life plans for this year. So it is Friday the 17th of June here in Sydney, and in a couple of days we will be embarking on this amazing week in the life project on Monday. I have done, I think, I did a recent blog post and I think I had said I'd done 4 or 5 week in the life albums, but I realize I've packed 1 or 2 away. So it's probably more like this will be my 6th or 7th. I don't do this project every year, and I didn't do it the last 2 years because of COVID and just, I just didn't have it in me to do it. So this year I'm really, really looking forward to it because it's been a while. I've done it in all different kinds of ways. I've done photo books, I've done albums, I've done 8.5 by 11, I've done 6 by 8. I've done albums where I've done a lot of journaling, like one of my 8.5 by 11s, I've done a full letter size page of journaling back and front each day. There's other ones where I've concentrated more on the photographs. There's ones where I've bought Ali's kit and used journal cards. So I've done it all different types of ways. The way I want to do it this year is in a 5 by 8 photo book. I just like photo books for this kind of thing at the moment. And I want to really concentrate on the photographs. So I want to get photographs that I don't normally take, or photographs that I don't of things that I wouldn't normally make a scrapbook page about. So I'm talking about lots of architecture, close-ups, walking around the city, different angles from low, from high, just playing with photographs really. So that's why I'm just picturing this project for me this year in a more magazine style, and it's hopefully going to be crammed with photographs and a little bit of journaling as well, but I'm not concentrating on the journaling part this year. So this year concentrating on photos, which is why I think a photo book will be the way to go. So the two main things I need to kind of get my head around for this project for me are digital products. I'm doing it digitally, of course. So what products am I going to use? And then templates. How do I want my photographs to look in the book? How am I going to do that? So they're probably the two main things that I've been working on today to organize. And then, on top of that, what is the general look I want to have for this book? So I've been playing around a little bit with stuff, and I'll just show you what I've got going here. Store all of my digital products in Lightroom. So let's open that up. So this is my scrapbooking section. Of course, my photographs section is going to be important after the project because that's where they're all going to live. What I'll probably do is bring all my photographs in as I normally do, and I have mine, by you can see here 2022, and I have them by month. And what I'll do is I'll just use a flag system, I think, for any photographs I want to use for this project. So they'll go into a nice little pile, and then I can work from that easier. But if we're looking down at my scrapbooking stuff, so I have mine all organized. So if you have a look here, this is my Ali Edwards folder, and I have all different kind of Ali projects and things in terms of digital scrapbooking here. And I've got all of my kits. So my story kits, which I have a ton of, are here. So they're kind of all individually, home, heart, habit, they're all there separately. So what I wanted to do was go through, I didn't want to buy anything, so I just want to go through what I've got. I really love the Week in the Life kits that Ali has. I think they're fantastic, but I just don't want to buy anything this year. I'm trying just not to buy stuff when I have so much already. But I think Week in the Life is one of those projects where most of your stuff will be relevant because we're looking at telling everyday stories. We're telling the stories of our home. We're telling our stories of our life. And I think most of us would have tons of stuff we could use for this project without a specific Week in the Life kit. Having said that, I've got some older kits and I've got other things I'm going to use. So what I did today was just have a look through all of my stuff. One of the things so obviously there's story kits that work. The AM PM, for example, all of this stuff is relevant for a Week in the Life project. Tons of these are really. But I looked and I found when I was going through, where is it? Day in the Life. So I found this Fall Day in the Life 2018 kit that I had. I don't know why it's gone into my Lightroom sideways. It comes out right when I bring it in. That's I don't understand that. So this is what it looks like. that's a bit blurry. Sorry, you can probably not see it, but the colors of this really appealed to me. So I think I'm going to use a lot of this stuff and use this as my color scheme. Basically, I don't use a lot of product in the first place, so I don't need tons of things, but I do like these kind of circles with words on them, and I love this thankful for this. I'm thinking I might, you know, cut a few of those off digitally and use them as little labels or things like that, but I'm not going to use a ton of product. I don't normally use a ton of product, but I do like to have a little pile to play with like everybody else. So in Lightroom, you can create a collection. And what I've done is just dragged into this collection anything that smacks of being everyday life, daily life, you know, those kind of things. I'm big on numbers, I'm big on circles, I'm big on labels. So you'll see tons of that. And I've just bought those all here. So I have a little pile of stuff to play with, like I said, but I might not end up using any of it. But you know, it's there for when I start putting my album together. And then in terms of templates, I want to do 5x8 and I want to be photo heavy, which I've already said. So I found I have this set of templates called 52 Weekends. It's an older set. It's still in my shop. And the point of this was to create, you know, 52 pages in a year. So you would do one story, one photo each weekend. You know, and I've got numbers on them. So the idea was, you know, start at 1, 2, and your last one would be 52. But I thought these were a really nice, simple set of templates that I could use again and kind of change around a little bit. So I'm going to use those as a basis. And let's just get rid of Lightroom to open up Photoshop Elements, which is where I'm going to make the actual pages. And this was just a little play around to kind of get into my mind what my idea is. I've got another one, so I've created even a little folder for my week in the life. And I like to test things out before I make my mind up. I like to see it. I don't like just to have a vague idea. I like to see it with actual photos. So that's something I'll do before a big project like this. So these are just older photos that I've thrown in there to have a little look. I do plan to use a lot of black and whites this year. And I do plan, as I've said, to use photographs I don't normally use in my scrapbooking. Go around looking for different angles, different sizes, close-ups, that kind of thing. So I thought something like this, and I may do a day opener with a photograph each day. And then I just want to use this kind of thing, lots of white space, and then going ahead and using all of my, let's put these. So these templates that I showed you earlier, putting photos into those, and then just doing brief journaling. I don't want to do a lot of journaling this time, and I don't want to have to kind of make notes all through the day. I just don't feel like that. I feel like going around with my camera and kind of being a tourist in my own life. So that's what the way I'm going to look at this project. And then I want to write little notes, of course. And I thought I'm going to use a lot of labels and things. So I'm happy just to have a photograph with a little label on it saying what it is. Or maybe I've used on here as an example the time of day. So I might use a timestamp on my photos a lot or my pages. I'm still not sure, but I think that might be a good way to organize everything. I like things to be organized. And then I've got this little kind of layout going that I'll probably try and repeat. This is just one of those day in the life things I've bought in. So I'm just kind of playing around, and then I might have, you know, some bigger grids. I might have double spread photographs and things like that, but just more keeping notes rather than doing any long heartfelt journaling, because I've done that before. With these projects that I do year after year after year, even though, you know, I don't do this one year after year, I do this one every couple of years, I don't like to do it the same every time. Like I'll switch it out just to keep it interesting and fun. So that is kind of what I'm going for, I think. So that will be that. I do have a little, let's have a look. This was what I was playing with the other day. This is just a little play kind of page with some things I want to use. So you can see here, I like to kind of make this little, I call it a drawing board really, for when I'm doing projects like this. This is a little 5 by 8 Photoshop page that I've made, and I do this for a lot of my projects where I want a cohesive theme, color scheme, fonts, all of that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like making my own little digital kit, and I just save that in the folder with my project. So what I've done here, you'll see, so this Ali Edwards Day in the Life, this little set that I said I like. I bought some of the items in and used them as a color scheme here. So all I've done there is just created a couple of circles and colored them into those things. So this is one of those pieces. So you can see they were the colors of the kit. I've also got this it's winter here, so this is a more winter friendly kit, but I think it might be a little bit too bland even for me with a lot of black and white photos. So I quite like the colors of this one, so I'll probably go with that, but I can change it out whenever I like. So what I've done, you can see this little line and the date, so I've just got kind of that here that I can use and pop into my things. I've got some different kinds of fonts and titles I'm playing around with. So this is an Avenir. This is a font that I have that's like one of those clicky machine thingies that I've forgotten the name of course. This is the font I like right now. It's called Oceanside, and I'm using that a lot for my journaling. You can see that down here. And then I've just made a few of these are from my shop. So this day, this weekend, they're all products I already have. These things I've just created to just be very simple labels. And then I can use the colorings, you know, of here. So for example, if I take this orange and then I go into the bottom, I've kept these all in layers so that I can go around and change them all. So, you know, each day I might choose a different color. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I might even stick with black and white, which is something I often do. But I've just made these simple little labels with the day, Monday, maybe a monogrammed day or something like this. Some very simple kind of things that I had that I might be able to drag over, you know, and use on top. They look like that. Just gives me some things to play around with. This is the font and the sizing, the tracking and everything I've used for this. So that way when I open up new things, I don't have to kind of remember what I've done so it looks the same. So that's just a handy little thing. I've thrown, you know, this little squiggle on, which I quite like. That's from one of my kits. I think it's the Mark It Up. It's a little hand-drawn scribble. So that just gives me a couple of pieces that, and I could basically make this whole album just with these things recolored and kind of changed over. And I probably will, but then I'm happy too. I've got my little bits and pieces from other kits there if I need them. So that is it in general. So that's my idea. Hopefully a lot of these full page photos. Then I've got, let's just bring them in. Where's my week in the life? I'll just show you those templates again. Bring them in. I've played around with those templates from my shop just to give, not those, that particular one. So you can just see where the photos will go in different formats to give the book some interest, really. This one I've already kind of just changed out the fonts and things to see how that will look. I might change, you know, to put that little thing there, but it gives me a starting point. That's all I'm after. So this whole thing will fall down if I don't take a lot of photos next week. But other than that, I know where I'm going. I kind of know I want tons of full page photos, and 5 by 8 is a fantastic size for full page photos. They don't need to be that great. You know, if you're doing 10 by 8 and you need a full page photo, it needs to be better than a 5 by 8. So I'm happy to stick with this small size. And I've just got kind of a plan in mind. I've got an idea in mind. So when I'm going around getting my photographs, I kind of already know how they're going to go in the album. And usually I work on my albums as I go, but this time I think I might just take all my photos, make some notes, and then spend the following weekend putting it all together. But who knows? We'll see. And you can see here I'm playing around with doing a little bit of handwriting as a subheading. I don't know if I'll do that. I mean, that's a little bit of extra work where you've got to get it from the iPad to here. But I do like having my handwriting in things. So that's basically it. That is my idea for Week in the Life, a very simple, very photocentric book, a couple of little embellishments, a color scheme that goes throughout, and a few little notes, things, nothing earth shattering. I've written a blog post this week about Week in the Life and put some tips and that kind of thing in it. But one of the things I just wanted to reiterate is that it's okay to swap your photos around in the days. And I mean, Ali even said that herself on YouTube today. So I believe if the boss has said it, we can all do it now. But, you know, if you take, and which most of us do, 100 photos on Monday and then 3 on Thursday, you use them on different days. And I've also talked about doing sneaky kind of pre-photos, because there are things that you do every day. You don't have to take that photo on the day. So say things like your kids' school bags or backpacks, school shoes, your coffee machine, coffee mugs, all of those things. If you want to get a jump start on the project and do some of that this weekend because you have time and you're eager to do it, that's great. Just kind of keep those photos aside. If you take the very best photo you've ever taken of your kid slash dog slash significant other tomorrow, and Week in the Life doesn't start till Monday, just put it in there. It's really okay. So I need to say these things out loud for me as well, because I'm a firstborn rule follower. And if I say it out loud, then maybe I'll take it on as well. But I have done that. I've got some photos today that I could use if I need to use them around my house. I just was in the mood for taking photos. So that's a little tip. And in that blog post, I'll just quickly show you it here. This is my blog, Make It Simple, but it's shannonm.com. I actually wrote this blog post about the Week in the Life projects I've done throughout the years, and then I remembered I've actually packed 1 or 2 of them away, so there's more than this, but this just gives you a look through the different ways that I've done it. And the first one I did was, I think, 2010, when my son was a baby, which is very fun. And I've just given a couple of tips down the bottom of that blog post if you want to go and have a look at that. But I just reiterate what Ali says every time, like the value of this project is just seeing your life change. I just think this is such a worthwhile project. I mean, I don't think any of our other projects show the change in the rhythms and things of our life as much as this one does. When you look at your albums sort of as a body of work, when you're comparing a couple of different years in your life, it's just fantastic, and I am so looking forward to it. So that is that. We'll see how we go. I'm hoping I can stick with the photo heavy theme. I know it's not going to be easy, but I just think concentrating on one part of it, the photos, instead of noting down everything I do in the day, will help me get there in the end, I think. But anyway, thank you guys for listening and looking. Good luck next week, and I look forward to seeing everybody's projects as we get working on them after the week. Bye, guys.